I am sure it will have an impact on this Umno election. Will there be one? That is another problem, you see. Umno, the last time Umno had a proper election of the leadership was in 1987, 20 years ago. Yeah, that was when Zaid fought Mahathir. That was what we could call an election. Even then, you know, Mahathir, to make sure that he stayed on power, he used all the powers that he has got to destroy the judiciary. He had used all his powers to kill Umno, you know. So that was the last time. So for 20 years, Umno has never had a proper choice of leaders. It's all anointed. It's all decided. It's almost like a dynasty, you know. And because of that culture in the last 20 years, the members have got no opportunity to speak out. The leaders have no opportunity to listen to feedbacks. So you end up having people anointed, you know, by you become Ketua Perorangan, you become Calon, you become, all decided by a few people. And when you suffer losses like recently, then you realize that the emperor has got no clothes, but nobody is going to tell him. You know. So if there's one lesson you must learn from this, they should learn from this, is that let's put back democracy in Umno. Let Umno be the party of the time of the old days. You know, I always talk about the Umno of the old days. It's not perfect, but Tengku has always been very open about things. People, you know, even Tun Razak's days. You know, you had regular election among small groups of people. You know, there was consultation. You know, and would Umno change because of this election? I don't know. I hope so, but I hope that they will take a very positive side to this and say, okay, let's configure ourselves. Let's regroup. You know, let's articulate what is actually our struggles. Slogans don't count anymore. You know, if people say we don't want corruption, we don't want corruption. So if you say that, you know, if you put on the tag says I don't want not corruption, it's not going to help. You know? It's just like smoking. I used to say that I'm not going to smoke, but then I smoke again. You know, so let's be more focused about articulating Umno struggle. Really, you can't just say Umno struggle is to defend Malay interests. It's not enough. What Malay interests? How? How do you implement these things? How do you make sure that the Bumiputras are properly taken care, you know, and it's not abused, you know? And these are things you have to discuss. You have to deliver. You have to be open. But a dynasty, a party that is predicated on sort of a dynastic rule, you know, where the emperor decides who goes where and who goes out. It's not going to solve this problem, you know. And we think, I mean, I and friends of mine who share the same view, I think that this election, as much as it is a major setback in terms of, you know, it's not something you cannot reverse. It's not, because we still have to wait and see how DAP performs. And at the rate they're going, I don't think they're performing very well. I want to see how their coalition, the Barisan Alternative, how they're going to perform. You know, it's still early days, so there's no need to be despondent or get into this. You know, just regroup, reorganize ourselves. We have all the tradition of helping in building this country. You know, we have all the we have enough leaders in Umno, I'm sure. If you just go a bit further than the circle surrounding Putrajaya, if you just go beyond and see the country, and there are enough people, capable people, to organize and win back the hearts of the people, you know. And the strength of the Barisan depends a lot on Umno, because Umno is the leader. Umno is the dominant partner in the partnership. So it's just like my firm. If I'm rotten, I'm sure the firm will break up, because I am the dominant partner in the firm. So, to that extent, you know, Umno must lead by example, so that the MIC also will have democracy. MIC cannot say only Sami can lead and nobody else. You see, that sort of arrogance irritates people, you know. At least MCA has got a bit of a, brain to say we limit our leaders by two terms. At least there's some recognition of that leaders must change, So I think leaders must change, and leaders who are corrupt. This is what Mahathir said, which I agree. If you are corrupt, you cannot be a good leader, because you cannot command the respect of the people. And today, there's nothing much you can hide. With the internet, with Malaysia Kini, with the bloggers, with all those people, you can only hide so much. So I hope this is a phase, this new phase will be utilized by the party to really look for leaders who are clean, who have the welfare of the Malays at heart, at the same time who will keep the country together, who will keep Barisan intact. Because I like to see Barisan succeed. I think if Barisan disintegrates, for example, in the next election, and let's say Zaid Ibrahim, the Barisan wins 200 of the seats again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. There's going to be another corruption, there's going to be another abuse of power. Because when you have too much power, this is what happens. So we have the citizen of this country must make sure that there is this check and balance. This is key. And I'm sure Barisan will still form the government, in the next 4 years. I think they can, if they do make all these changes. No, it's not whether we need an EP or not, what we need. You see, an EP means many things to many people. You must understand that first. It's a very emotive expression. To the ordinary Malays, that is his right. His whole life is national. He's been imbued into his mind and into his life that the NEP is what makes him. Now, for a Chinaman to come say, let's do away with that, I think it's very insensitive on the part of Lim Guan Eng. Now, he should have said, the positive side of NEP, I will continue, which is, I will eradicate poverty in my state. I will make sure that part of the NEP that supports the poor, that gives special privileges to the poor, special concession to the poor, I will continue with it. But that part of NEP, where people just get the benefit and abuse their position just because they are Malays, I will put that to a stop. That's all he needs to say. And this is what Tun Ismail said 30 years ago. Why can't he just repeat that? And I think a good policy serves everybody. So why need to be provocative? Just say that we're going to implement good policies, And if people say, as I said, what about NEP? Which part of NEP? Because actually Mahathir has abolished NEP. Actually, there's no more there. Why is everybody talking about NEP? Mahathir has abolished it in 1990. But because it's such an emotive expression, the Malays associated their rights as NEP. So for a Chinese leader to come and say, I'm going to take that away, he rings a lot of negative thoughts in his mind. That is not good for stability. And it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. A good leader must be able to say that a policy, the NEP that helps the marginalized group, we will continue. The NEP that helps the poor, we will continue. The NEP that removes poverty will continue. The NEP that selects a few individuals to get big concessions, we will stop. That's all. But this is something that I think they have to be careful. And I'm not just Lim Guan Eng. I'm just saying that even the TV3 and the newspapers, they're also putting out this, putting Malays against non-Malays. It's so dangerous. I mean, for the sake of our country, forget about this. This is just an election. You lose today, you can win again. Just don't. It's not the end of the world, and don't inflame people's feelings. Because we are, as I said, our relationship, our ethnic relationships are very tenuous. Our unity is very suspect. So both sides must be careful. That's my message.